So we have two pros that may not actually be pros, but they may feel like pros.
That's
But
a great way to describe it. That's a
in the
great way to
reality,
describe it.
you may feel
Yeah,
that you have an advantage offering all those services, but I guess it could depend on the market, right? But
sure.
it's going to be different every market. But it's very possible that that's an illusion. There's actually no advantage whatsoever. And then there's three clear cons. Um, so yeah, I think that's good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. Um, and think about I guess maybe one of the other things I might bring up is what if I'm truly a general contractor? So my thing is I think you brought up home builders. So it's like, hey, we don't actually do any of the work ourselves. Like we're upfront with that with customers. Our thing is that we're going to help you design the property that you want, the outcome that you want, and then we're going to oversee hiring all of the subcontractors that are going to do the work. I feel like it's a very different business model than just being a contractor that focuses on a specific service. So I don't know how much experience you have with that, but I feel like does that model work? Like, can you make that model work and be profitable with that model? And in that scenario where you're truly just a GC or a home builder, does it um, does it make sense in that environment? Or in your
I
opinion,
mean,
is
I
that
have
just
been
not a
that.
good
I have
model?
been that before. I have run. I've
You
like done
you
major
went that direction.
renovations. Yeah, I've done major renovations just like that. You know, very, very significant time number of trades. I just think that if your goal is to make profit and to have more free time and to have less stress, focus on one thing. That model works because those guys, it seems like those guys don't understand the retail model of home services. They just don't get it. I talked to them about it. They're like, how do you make this work? Don't because I would give them bids in the beginning, like bids, not proposals. And like, I'm never gonna tell that customer I'm gonna charge that much money for this. I'm like, okay, well then get two guys to go out there and throw some shingles on the roof on your $1 million house. That's not us.
Yeah.
We provide, I mean, it's just it's a totally different world.
Mm.
I think I think there's some pride to those custom home builders like GCs like that. They have a sense of pride. They've done a big thing, but there is not a lot of profit. And I'm putting that on a shirt. There's pride, but there's not profit because
Pride
if
pride does not equal profit.
yeah,
That's a good shirt.
dude, I'm telling you, if you're listening to this and you're like, well, our gross profit's 25%, you need to raise it. If your profit is 20%, I've heard some people like 18%, like, okay, stop doing that. We're specialty contractors, you need to be 35 to 40% and up. I don't care what market you're in. And because the most a GC can hope for is like cost plus 20. And they're most of them are not even getting that. So they're getting on $1 million job, they're getting paid $200,000 to
Yeah.
spend to be there for 9 months.
Yeah. To oversee the whole thing.
There's value to what they bring. They bring value to that homeowner. They do. I don't discount what they bring because they know the guys, they know how to put all the pieces together to build a home. There's a knowledge base they have. But truthfully, they don't get paid that much money. Like they're always like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we're so blessed." Are you really? You're spending your entire year on two houses, and I'm gonna make more money than you and my little tiny roofing business. That
Yeah.
doesn't, and I have more free time than you. You have these homeowners are not happy with you all the time. You have to constantly be on the phone with them all the time. Like it's just not, you're basically their therapist for a year. I'm glad we're talking about this because this is exactly, I've painfully experienced this. And I think that if you're listening or watching this, I just can't stress enough. Don't do everything. Pick a thing and do it really well. Pick one or two things and do it really well.
Yeah. That totally makes sense. I wonder also if maybe the GC model makes a lot more sense at a large scale. So if you're working on a massive commercial projects or even home development, like develop like the whole residential developments, like where you're working on 100 homes. Like at that scale, I feel like that might make more sense. Maybe still a very stressful life, and maybe that's what some people want to do. I mean, I don't maybe agree or disagree, but I feel like as you scale it down to an individual home level is when it starts making less and less sense. Like
Correct.
either you're doing massive projects, and so that even, maybe the project's $100 million project, but you'll walk away with 10 million and you'll work on it for 3 years, right? Like that could make sense. But then if you scale it down to just an individual home where you're working you're not working with investors, you're not working with a big corporation, you're just working with a homeowner that doesn't quite understand the value of everything, then it just is going to make less and less sense the more you get to just the one house.
Yeah.
Would you say that's accurate? So
I would say there's probably only a couple hundred people in the whole country that can do what you just said.
the
That
large scale developments
yeah, I mean that make money. No,
that
they
actually
can
make
do.
money.
There's a bunch of people that everybody's like, oh, they're making so much money. No, I know people personally that have done. This is how you make money doing that. You own the land. You own the land.
Develop it yourself
You
to do all of
leverage
it.
really, really low interest rate banking, commercial banking, and you're able to build. You're the captured builder on these developments. So you're guaranteed to know your profit margin. You're gonna own the land outright. You're gonna subdivide it. Then you're gonna sell lots. Then you're gonna build the homes. That's how you make money. But we're talking about like
You're not even a contractor technically. You're really an investor at that stage
I mean you can
because
be
you're
I know
buying an
guys who
asset
are
and then you're building it up and reselling it.
correct. But I know guys who do that. Like they have made a bunch of money. Here's what I'd say. They make a bunch of money that's life-changing money. Like 500 homes in these neighborhoods, like, upper middle class homes. They're making very low percentage margin on the homes on the work part, but they're making like all the money on the land sell because they already own the land at pennies on the dollar. Then they subdivide it and they sell the lots for 100 grand a piece, and then they build the house, $700,000 house. So then, yeah, and
It's
there's
not even
500 of them.
And it's also not even necessarily about the home that they're building. It's also the location. So they're betting on this
Yep,
location.
it's risk.
There's seven massive corporations building headquarters down the street. I know those people are going to need homes, so I'm going to build here. So it's like you're saying, it's more speculation on the land. That's where they make the money than it is about the home. It's not
Yep.
that they did amazing work on the home and people just want to pay more for the homes. That's not how it works. It's just that they have to put homes on it in order to capitalize, but it's really the value of the location that they were able to bet on and win
Yep.
on.
We're talking about
Yeah.
two different businesses altogether. When we're
Yeah.
talking about
So
home services, you need to, in the replacement world, siding replacement, window replacement,
yeah,
painting, roof replacement, all that stuff. That's where you want a specific avatar for your market, specific age, gender, all the stuff that's your ideal customer that writes 5-star reviews every time, and just sell to those people every single time with the highest 35 to 40% margin at least.
yeah. No, that makes total sense. I feel like we really looked at the whole gamut here, though. I feel like I tried to play devil's advocate. I feel like we were able to look at it from a lot of different angles. So that's good. Hopefully this helps some people out there, and we'll wrap things up. Anything you're looking forward to this week?
I am pumped about training my new guy. I'm
Nice.
just pumped about growing in the right way.